Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Nahw for Beginners, Basic Arabic Grammar, Lesson 2. Inshallah, in this lesson we will cover the types of nouns, the types of verbs, and the types of particles. So starting off with the types of nouns. Okay, so we know that ism is a noun. So ism has three types. We have jamid, masdar, and mushtaq. Jamid is basically a word that nothing is derived from it, and it's not derived from anything. The example would be farasun, which means horse. So there's no there's no verb that comes from horse, anything like that, any other word. Hence it's jamid. Masdar is a root word, okay, and there are words that are derived from it. So darbun means hitting. So like darib would be a person who hits, right? So etc. And then let's move to mushtaq, which means derived nouns. So a mushtaq is derived from a masdar, okay? And as you can see, the example here is darib. So darib is derived from darbun. And here, let me just remind you that it's important that you go through the series that we have on our website, essentialilm.com, properly, because I'm assuming you've covered Arabic 101, which is our basic sarf. If you haven't, it's very important, because otherwise things won't be made too clear for you, right? Because we're assuming some things here that you've studied, inshallah. So now the types of verbs, fi'l. So we have four types. The first is al-madi, or the past tense. Example, daraba. And again, this should be very clear if you've covered our Arabic 101. Al-mudari' is the present or future tense, and it's yadribu. And just remember one of the ways you can tell the mudari' is that in front of the base letters you'll either have a ya, ta, alif, or noon. Okay? And then we have amr, which is the command. So example is idrib, right? You're commanding someone, hit. And nahi is the negative command. You're commanding someone not to do something. So la tadrib, okay? To hit. And the types of particles. There are two types of particles, or huruf. One of them is amil, a causative particle. Basically, with some of the particles, if they're in front of a noun, alright, if they're in front of a word, they change the state of the next word. Okay, now look at the example fi. Okay, because we have fi, the word dar has a kasra, right? Originally it would be ad-daru, but because of the fi, it's ad-dari, right? It is in the jar state, majrur state. Inshallah, that'll become more clear in the future. Zaydun fi dari. And then we have other particles that don't cause that change. They're called ghayr amil. Okay, an example would be wa, right? If there's a wa in front of anything, it doesn't change the state of the next word. And thumma, which means then. Moving on to the exercises, correct the following words stating a reason and give its meaning. Now again, if you're following along on the videos with the book that we're basing this off of, then you'll notice that we're skipping some of the exercises because I feel that they're not that important, because it's just looking stuff up in the dictionary and figuring out the plural, and that really doesn't have to do anything with grammar, right? That's just memorizing vocab, inshallah. So you can just do that on your own. Al-baytun. Okay, so what's the mistake? And again, I highly recommend that you pause the video, try to answer the questions on your own, and then press play to see whether you got it right, and if you got a mistake, why that was. Okay, so remember we said that an ism, a noun, can only have al or tanween, okay, which is double fatha, double dhamma, double kasra. But here we have both, so either it can be al-baytu or baytun. It can't be al-baytun. Okay, same thing here. Alright, now here we have sami'un. Now if you don't know, sami'a is a verb, and what we know about verbs is that they cannot have al or tanween. So here we have tanween, we can't have that. So it'd be sami'a. Al-fataha. Now fataha is also a verb, and as in the previous one we said that a verb cannot have al and it cannot have tanween. Okay, so it would be just fataha. Moving on, identify the different types of verbs in the sentences. Fataha Khalidun ash-shubbaka. Now just one thing, whenever you have a tanween followed by alif and lam, you put a small noon kasra here. Okay, so you say fataha Khalidunil. Okay, connect the noon to the lam. Fataha Khalidun ash-shubbaka. Okay, now which one is a verb? Now we know now fataha could be a verb. How do we know? Because it's missing al and it's missing tanween, and it means to open, so it's a whole, it's a meaning by itself. It doesn't have to be connected to another, it doesn't have to be connected to another word like a harf. So this is a verb, obviously. Khalidun has tanween, so, and it's a name, so we know it's not a verb. It doesn't have a verb like meaning. Ash-shubbaka, okay, it has alif and lam in the beginning, so we know it's not going to be a verb. So what kind of verb is this? It is fi'l madhi. And again, this is where Arabic 101 will come in handy, because you don't really know why unless you've gone through Arabic 101. Yadrusu Ahmadu fil madrasati. Okay, so the alif, the fa is going to connect to the lam. So yadrusu, it doesn't have al, it doesn't have tanween, so this is, and it has the meaning, full meaning, so this is a verb. Ahmadu is a name. Okay, fil madrasati. Alright, and notice the kasra, right, because fi is one of the things that changes the state of the next word. Yadrusu Ahmadu fil madrasati. And what kind of verb is it? It is a fi'l mudari'. Okay, it is a present tense verb. And notice the ya. We said if one of the ways to tell a fi'l mudari' is that it has alif, noon, ya, or ta in front of the base letters. Uktub risalatan. Okay, now you're ordering someone to write a risala. Okay, now we know this isn't a verb because of the tanween. Alright, uktub, now this is similar to what we've come across for fi'al amr. So yes, this is a fi'al amr, a command verb. لا تقرأ ذلك الكتاب. Okay, now this is a verb and it's prohibitive because of the la. Okay, ذلك we know is a ism ishara, is a noun. Okay, al-kitab, the book. Alright, so this is the only verb here, and again because of the la we know that it's prohibitive. Inshallah, that concludes this lesson. Jazakallah khair for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.